Today we are diving into the ever-loving fantasy genre in anime. It's one of the most popular settings in anime. Instead of taking place in reality, it's a realm with monsters, magic, and may contain tropes like demon lords and heroes. There are a lot of new fantasy anime that have released recently, which is why I'm here to share with them with you all today. You all haven't even witnessed these series yet, and now it is the time to jump in and check them out. So sit back and enjoy the recommendations. Let us begin with Welcome to the Outcast's Restaurant. The main protagonist, Dennis, is a level 99 chef with insane cooking skills, and he is the main man who feeds the hero's party. But the leader unfortunately does hold a grudge against him because his love interest is, she has her eyes on Dennis. So out of jealousy, the leader decides to kick Dennis out as there is no place for a weakling chef, wielding a butcher knife in this party, despite being overpowered. Now, Dennis is without a party, but he already knows the next goal in his life, which is to retire from being a hero and open up his very own restaurant and use his cooking skills to create the best food in town. There are two clans in this world that don't see eye to eye, and they are enemies: the Oni and the Momotaro clan. This anime explores the life of a high schooler named Shiki, who is a reckless teenager and up to no good all the time, and he does get expelled from school. But one day he returns home to his carer, who is a Momotaro secretly. He doesn't really tell him that yet. But a couple of guys then barged into the house, demanding the old man to surrender the boy, and ended up killing the poor guy in the process. It was then explained that Shiki was in fact a descendant of the Oni, being taken care of by a Momotaro member to be kept safe from harm. But it was only a matter of time before peace comes to an end. And now Shiki wants revenge against his enemy clan and enrolls into a special Oni school to learn more about his powers and how to control them. Next up on the list, we have his Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth. Now, you have here is a completely generic and average delinquent protagonist named Takeru who beats people up and thinks he is so tough, until the day he fell off a cliff and goes to another world. And there he actually meets the girl from his dreams whenever he sleeps and goes on an adventure with her. However, she actually appears to not even remember anything and starts to despise him for being, well, a perv. But a deadly black mist then emerges that engulfs the entire city and turns people solid for whoever touches it, and also spawns monsters. But Takeru, however, is immune to the mist and must learn the art of Onmyo Jutsu to fight those monsters and protect his girl from danger. Now, this anime here falls more into the lines of slow living in another world, as the young boy is blessed with eternal youth and an endless life of exploration and room to grow in power. The Water Magician is a very simple reincarnation anime. It doesn't really have, too much going for it, but if you do like the idea of a protagonist living a slow life, exploring his surroundings, testing his powers, and looking at cool visuals such as the water effects and magic, then perhaps this anime could be something up your alley to check out. Now it's time we welcome a new addition to the dark fantasy genre, a new anime called Clevatis, which really put up a great first impression in my opinion, but do be warned as this anime does have gruesome content and other stuff that may be, well, disturbing. Clevatis is a legendary demon beast that wiped the hero's party but resurrected the female hero and granted her immortality. And that is all to help the demon beast raise a lonely baby child that is the last saving grace for humanity. Now, Clevatis is actually tasked with destroying humanity and wiping everyone out. But perhaps now that he is in the care of a child, he may have a change of heart. I don't really think that this anime will be on many people's radar this season, but my guess that it's going to be underrated, and for a fantasy anime of magic and tutoring, it sure looks pretty damn good.
命をかけて殿下を助ける。どこだ？捕らえた。
The Duke of a big mansion has a daughter that is unable to use magic despite having mana, and so he decides to hire for her a tutor of big talent who will attempt to change her mind from joining the Heroes Academy. Even though that's what the daughter really wants, having no magic plays a big factor into being a hero, so instead of the tutor accepting the Duke's request into changing her mind, he actually does wish to help this young girl solve her magic issue and have her chase her dreams of joining the academy, as that is what she wants to do. Now we're moving on to the Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses. The mighty overpowered, one-shotting hero has difficulties making a party because he is somewhat unapproachable and can't really seem to make a party for himself. However, the Demon King has tasked 3 beautiful princesses to assassinate the hero and play pretend in befriending him and find the perfect chance to eliminate him from his life. The hero, however, is extremely shy, tons of nosebleeds from fan service, and lots of overpowered moments. But whatever the assassin princesses try and plot to kill the hero, it always somehow backfires because the hero is undefeatable in battle, yet he is completely oblivious to their plans. Let me ask you guys 3 questions. Do you like ugly bastards, an isekai world, and best of all, a super overpowered, undefeatable protagonist? If yes is answer to all these questions, then feast your eyes on Ugly Mug Epic Fighter.
一匹いった頼みます。
どうして？まあいい。俺の真の力を見せてやろう。くらえ！
A little surprise, but this anime is made by White Fox, the creators of Re:Zero. Now, here you have an average protagonist named Shigeru, who one day goes online and gets sent to another world after inputting his stats on the menu screen. Now, he purposely made himself look ugly in exchange for massive stat points, making him an absolute god. Despite his looks, he doesn't look really that good. He is crazy overpowered as an ugly mug, adventuring with 3 other people from the real world as together they explore, level up, and get stronger. New Saga is the newest addition to the time travel trope, where the hero's party are at the final battle against the Demon Lord, but are sadly all wiped out, except for the main hero himself. While he did manage to beat the demon in the end, it was all for nothing because the rest of his team were dead. However, a shiny relic was then left behind by the slain Demon Lord, and upon touching the relic, he was sent back in time before the Great War had even begun, back when his village was safe and sound, and where his party members were alive. But they have all no idea of the events that will happen and take place in the future, except for the protagonist, as now he must prepare himself for the battle to come. For my last recommendation, truthfully, this is probably my favorite one from the current season because it is so damn good so far. Gachiakuda has an interesting world where two sides are split, the slums and the rich. The slums is a place where criminals go, while the rich side is for the people who always follow the rules and get to live a nicer quality life. The rich always throw trash on a daily basis into the pit, but the protagonist always manages to salvage the trash that they throw, which is illegal by the way, into usable objects as he believes that they are still alive somewhere. Everyone stays away from him because they all think that his father used to be a dangerous criminal and one day the son might follow that path. And it wasn't even that long before the accusations start happening, where someone was killed and the kid got blamed for the murder and was thrown into the trash pit while all the odds are now against him in a new world that has never been experienced before. Looks like that is the end of the line and the end for the fantasy journey because the video has come to a close. But don't you all worry because I will be back with more, so do stay tuned. But if you did enjoy, then please do drop a like to show your support and subscribe to stay notified of all my latest uploads here on YouTube. Take care everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.